Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go over everything from 6 months to 9 months of Hudson's life. I can't believe he's already 9 months old. He gets mistaken for 18 months old just because he's so big and active and about to walk, and a lot of people think he's 18 months old, which is crazy. Can't even imagine him being that old. He's currently at daycare right now. Fridays I have my day off, but we haven't had a day that I could bring him into daycare and get some things done at the house. Haven't been able to do that in a while. We've just been so busy on Fridays. So taking advantage of that, cleaning the house, getting a lot done. It's been really nice, but I do miss him, so we're going to go get him in a little bit. I believe they're eating right now, and then it's nap time, so really they're doing that for me, which is nice. So I don't have to worry about that when I go and get him. We can just either sleep or play, whatever he wants to do. But I wanted to do this update video while I had time. I know last time I wanted to do 6 months, and then it got really behind, so he turned 9 months old a couple days ago, and I just want to get everything in this video that I can remember while he's still 9 months old. I'm just going to be like rambling off a bunch of stuff just because when it comes to my mind, I just want to say it. I don't have anything written down, haven't really thought about what I want to say, so might be all over the place. But the first thing is Hudson did start swimming lessons, which is so fun. He had his first swimming lesson last week, and Eli went in the pool with him, and they basically like blew bubbles in the water, kicked their feet. At the end, they did try the safe getting out of the water thing, which was fun. He loves like climbing on things, so he really liked that, but we really enjoyed it. I just got to watch with our friend. Our friends are doing it too with their little girl. So that's really fun. And it's only 30 minutes and it's right next to our house. So it is perfect. We go on the weekend. So his second time is going to be tomorrow. Go every week. At least that's a plan for now. But just getting him used to the water, having fun with it, not being scared. We know he loves the water because he loves bath time. Can't get enough. He tries to go in the bathroom. Every time like we put him on the floor, he always scurries in there to stand up next to the tub because he wants to go and play in the water. So we know he likes water, so this is just an extra time, especially during the winter, for him to play in the water and learn some things. So we're really excited. We also wanted him to be comfortable with water, start learning things, because my family has a cabin at the lake, and we really want him to be comfortable and safe there. He will obviously wear a life jacket, but still, it's good to know how to, just in case anything happens, how to be safe by the water. So that's why we put him in, and he's only 9 months old, but there was quite a few kids at his age there, and a lot of the instructors just recommended that we do start early. It doesn't hurt anything to get them used to the water and start early. So yeah, we are really enjoying that so far. Hudson did have hydrostasis surgery, maybe like a couple months ago, at the beginning of the year. He was born with something on his boy part that needed to be fixed a little bit. I guess it's very common in boys, like 1 in every 50 boys has to have this procedure done. But that was a lot because we had to do the whole surgery thing of like not eating until then, because they did put him under, and just like them putting him under, being in surgery, having to wait, not knowing. That was a lot, but Eli and I did very well, and Hudson obviously did amazing. He was just flirting with all the ladies and all the doctors there, and everybody loved him. So, and the healing process, it was fine. It was like a week or so with like the stent put in, and then they took it out, and then he's been healing ever since, and he's doing really great. So we did have that to deal with at the beginning of the year, which we didn't want to deal with it, but obviously it's worth it for Hudson. So we took our first plane ride. I'm kind of going backwards, I guess, because we went to Florida to visit my brother and sister-in-law and their two kids. They have a 2.5-year-old and a baby who's 5 months older than Hudson, so about 13, 14 months old. So that was really fun to see them and their boys, so it was just really fun. They do look very similar, which again is so fun. I wish they were back here so that they could play more together. They're all the way in Florida, loving their warm life, but it was fun going out there. His plane ride, he did amazing. It was 2 flights out there and then 2 flights back. So, but yeah, he would, stare at people, flirt with them, because that's all he does is just smile and flirt. And then he just would take a bottle, fall asleep, wake up like 20 minutes before we were about to land, and just keep playing and just watching people. And yeah, he did perfect. So I was really nervous about it just because, not a lot of people like babies on planes, but he did amazing, and a lot of people would come up to us and be like, I didn't even know there was a baby on the plane when they would see us get off. So that was really nice, and yeah, Hudson loved his time out in Florida. We were actually there for a wedding, so he got to hang out with his cousins and aunt and uncle while we went to the wedding, and yeah, they just loved up on him, and it was a great time. We were there for like 4 or 5 days, and the weather was perfect. Like, it wasn't too hot, and Eli and I don't do well with hot weather. That's why we don't live in Florida. And Hudson, he likes colder weather as well. So yeah, it was perfect for us. They were actually kind of cold, my brother and sister-in-law, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, it was just a great experience for Hudson, and we probably will be going back soon. I know they're coming back in a few, like at the end of the year, for a wedding, so that'll be fun to see the boys and obviously the older girl, but all of them playing together. They'll be walking by then, and it's just gonna be so fun. I cannot wait. Speaking of, Hudson is like crawling for sure, but he's also like about to walk. Like, he is so close. I give it a couple weeks and he'll be walking, which is scary. He's only 9 months old, but he likes to stand up against furniture and like kind of walk along it, and sometimes he'll just stand there without touching anything and just like stand, and then he'll fall on his butt or whatever and start crawling. But he's ready. He is so ready. He has 2 teeth on the bottom of his mouth. They're so cute, but he's been teething since 4 months old, so it was about time for those suckers to pop through. But now I think he's starting to get a lot more teeth about to push through. He still has just 2, but he's been very, like, drooling a lot, very picky, like very fussy and stuff. But yeah, it's so cute, the 2 little teeth, and when he brushes teeth a little bit, and it's so fun. That has been a new experience for us too, with the teeth, because I'm still breastfeeding every now and then, mostly on the weekends, just because during the week it's like a bottle, then bed is when I see him, so, which is fine, but he likes to bite, so I don't know how much longer I'm actually going to be able to breastfeed, because he's a biter, and like even when you're sitting down and he's like walking alongside you, he likes to like bite people's knees. Like, that's a thing for him. I don't know if that's normal, but it's at like the right height for him when he's like walking along. So he likes to he used to suck on your knee, and now he bites because he has the 2 teeth. So that's pretty funny, but I mean, those things are sharp, so they really hurt. He's also doing very well with eating, thank goodness, because the first couple of months, probably until like 8 months old, he was not doing well with eating like solid foods. I was doing baby-led weaning, still I am, but he just wasn't interested at all. I believe I said this in the last video, but he was just not interested. He would just push it away. Even if it was like pureed food that I made, he just wouldn't. So I was like really nervous, and I was so excited to give him foods because I'm a dietitian. So I do this for a living. I work at WIC. Like, I literally talk to parents about this. So I was so excited, and then he just wasn't having it. But after 8 months old, that's kind of when his 2 teeth started popping through. So maybe that was a factor, that he was just in a lot of pain and didn't want anything in his mouth. But now he's a champ. I mean, it's hit or miss. He'll eat one time, and then another time I put him in his high chair, he won't eat. So, I mean, he'll play with the food, which again is good. The textures, the flavors, he'll put it in his mouth. He does eat some, just because I know he's eating some because of his poop. I can see it in there. Gross enough, but kind of makes me feel better that I see some food in there. But yeah, he's eating all kinds of foods, meats, eggs, fruits, vegetables, different kinds of grains. I'm doing the 100 first foods by one, and so I like cross off different ones. There's a few on there I don't know if I'm gonna give him, but we'll see. Like, there's liver, or I don't even know. Some foods that I don't even know if I've tried. Maybe I should, but we'll see. He's still trying all these different foods, so, which is good for him. He won't be as picky, hopefully, when he gets older, and it just helps with all these different textures and stuff, too. So, yeah, he is doing great with that. He had his 9-month checkup a couple days ago, and he was 26 pounds, I believe like 10 ounces, and then 32 inches long. So the doctor came in, and she always knows he's so big. She has 2 big babies that she sees, and they are like within like different, like a pound of each other. It's so fun, and they were born on the same day. So we always ask about the other kid because she always compares them, which is really funny. But she came in and she said that he is 100 percentile for height and weight for a 9-month-old and a 12-month-old. And then she said that he's normal height and weight for an 18-month-old. So that's crazy. And when I carry him around, because now I can barely put him in his car seat and carry him around because he's so big and long, people are like, oh my gosh, he's gonna, like, he's like half the size of you, which he is. He's big. He's a big boy. At the end of this, I'm going to push some clips and some pictures like I do of him. But yeah, he's a little cutie. I love it. I love it. He is wearing 18-month clothes, so that tracks. But I feel like every time I buy stuff, he just grows out of it. Like, he wears it once and then he's out of it. So it is so hard buying him clothes. I don't know how people do it. Like, I'm saving all of his clothes, but there's like 6 bins downstairs of all of his stuff. So I don't know how people do it. We want more kids, so I'm keeping it, but like, it seems like a lot. I don't know. And what if it's not the right season for the age? I don't know. I don't know how people do it, but he is doing really good. At the doctor's appointment for his 9 months, she asked if he was sleeping through the night, and I just, like, that's my biggest thing. He's really not. I mean, he was waking up maybe 2 or 3 times. 1 or 2 times. 1 or 2 times. At like midnight, and then at like 3 o'clock, and then he'd wake up at like 5:36. And that was normal because that's when Eli would bring him to daycare, or my mom would get there, so that wake up time was fine. But yeah, he would wake up like 2 times throughout the night, and I didn't mind, because one, I would feed him, because I never got to breastfeed him during the week, because I never see him, or it's bedtime, and we'd give him a bottle before bed, because it fills him up. And so I was like, I don't mind, like, I'm going to breastfeed. And then I knew that it was like setting a bad example, because he'd wake up, know someone would come if he cried, and then he would get fed. So I knew it was a bad thing. I knew it, but I just, in my heart, that was our little time together, and But the doctor recommended like the cry it out method, and like I was going back and forth with it. I just didn't know. I've heard good and bad things, but she made me feel really good about it, and like I don't know, just what she said really helped me. So that night we did try the cry it out method, and so we put him down, and then I believe at like midnight he woke up and started crying, and his new thing is like standing in his crib. His crib's all the way down, but he was standing in his crib, and he always stands there and like looks at the door, like waiting for someone to come in, and I didn't, and he cried for 30 minutes and then put himself to sleep, which was great, but those 30 minutes were so hard on Eli and I. Like, we were both up, like, oh, it's hard. And then he woke up again at 2, and he only cried for like 15 minutes, which they say, yep, it starts to decrease, which it did. And then he slept until he woke up in the morning. And then the next couple nights, he slept through the night already, like. And then, yeah, last night, so we've been doing this for like a week, and then last night he slept all night. This morning at like 5-ish, he kind of tussled a little bit, cried a little bit, but then put himself back to sleep in like 5 minutes, which was great because I wanted to sleep in because my day off, and we were going into daycare late, so perfect. He slept, so we went back down at like 5:30 by himself, and then slept till 7. That was great. That was amazing. I haven't had that with him, and so basically he slept from 8, so we put him down. We start putting him into bed at like 7:30, and that's usually my job. And so we're just like rocking, and again, I know you're not supposed to feed him to go to sleep. Well, whatever, that's what I do. That'll probably be another thing I have to work on, but falls asleep. I put him in his crib about 8, and then he sleeps until 6 or 7 o'clock. So proud of him. And our new thing is we are working on his first birthday. I know it's kind of early, but there's just a lot going on, and it's his first birthday, and I'm so excited. And it's going to be obviously in May. That's when he was born, on the weekend, and we're planning on doing it here at the house, just because hopefully it's nice by then, no snow. But you never know. So we're starting to like think of ideas for that, just because the first birthday is kind of like a big deal, like a big hoopla with friends and family. That is what we are working on now. And I think that is all I have to say about Hudson. He is just the cutest little boy ever, and he is so silly. So silly. Like, I think he's going to be a little jokester, which might get him into trouble, try to be like a class clown, but just his attitude, like, he's so silly, and then he like looks to make sure you're laughing. Like, it's the cutest thing. So I hope he continues with that silliness, and then his little cute smile that he always does. Ugh, melts my heart. So thank you for watching, and now watch all of the clips and all of the pictures we have taken over the last few months. Bye.